Oh, hey, I didn't see. Well, actually, I did see you there. What do you want? Like, why are you staring at me? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I actually have. Actually, roll the intro. Hello, hello, hello. I just wanted to do a quick video because, well, for one thing, I want to show my Patreon members that they are here. I told my Patreon members, everyone that supports the Patreon, throw them up on the screen. Everybody, I love you. 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 I love all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting me, supporting D, supporting us, just supporting the channel and helping to fund things. I appreciate you. You are wonderful. I told my Patreon members that eventually I would be issuing posters freely to everyone that supported the Patreon, and I finally have some of them here, and I want to get into that, and I will get into that. But mainly, I wanted to talk about this piece because this specific piece is my favorite piece that I've ever done. For Barney, at the very least. It's my favorite Barney piece, and it's one that I didn't record. I will record my art pieces and do an art stage video talking about the production of it and what I was feeling when I made the piece. But for this one, I didn't, and I wasn't sure if, I wasn't sure how long it was going to be. And at the time, I was running out of space, so I wasn't able to record it. But this is one that exists on my current Instagram page. If you go to Hedge Museum Stage on Instagram, that's where I post all of my Barney artwork. That is where it lives right now. So this piece right here was made, I don't want to say on a whim. A lot of the times I'll have dreams where, it's me and it's Barney, and we're either going on some adventure or it'll just be Barney just doing things. And I remember this one came to me in a dream where Barney was just in this world and he was looking out at the beauty of the world. And I thought that would be an amazing idea for an art piece. And I wasn't exactly sure how to go about it aside from I wanted it to be painted. Now, I'm not good with painting. I'm not good with making artwork of just things where I have to use my hands physically, aside from like drawing, right? But I could never really understand how to paint, and I've always wanted to, but I usually try and find different ways of doing it digitally with how I usually do my artwork now. I often see people talking about Bob Ross, and whenever I see people talk about Bob Ross, it's usually using him as a joke or a meme. I don't think a lot of people have actually seen a Bob Ross episode, which is just completely crazy to me. For those people that don't know, Bob Ross is a painter who passed away back in the early 90s, I believe. I could be wrong about that. But he's a painter, and he had a TV show that ran on cable, and it was called The Joy of Painting. And that was just a normal TV show. It was 30 minutes. There was no commercials. It ran all the way through 30 minutes, and it would start with him with an easel, or not easel, a palette and a canvas, and he would just paint the entire time. He would like list off colors that he was painting with, so you literally could go out to the store, buy exactly what he had, and just start painting with the episode whenever it aired. And what was so unique about Bob Ross was not just the fact that he would paint these beautiful landscapes and paintings, but he would do it in 30 minutes. Literally, it would start with a white canvas, and then 30 minutes later, it was entirely done. He would sign it. He would finish every painting he started and every single episode. Now, I used to watch Bob Ross and just put him on to go to sleep to, and I still do at times because his voice is very, very soothing.
Welcome back. I'm glad to see you today. It's a fantastic day here, and I hope it is wherever you're at.
Eventually, I started to really take in what he was saying, and he really helped me to understand how to do landscapes because as an artist, I'm sure a lot of people will tell you this, landscapes and just locations in general can be very difficult. Trying to understand the layout of the land and what goes here, what should I put here, this and that. It can get very confusing at times, and I used to stray away from doing them because it was very, very hard for me. But considering Bob Ross does landscapes and locations in every single one of his paintings, I felt as though I really needed to pay attention to it. Keep in mind, the Joy of Painting TV show has like 30 seasons, so it's almost, I mean, of course, it's not endless, but it feels like an endless load of content that's all completely on YouTube, by the way. Like, everything is on YouTube for you to watch. And I would just put it on, and I'd be like, okay, so let me figure out what to do here. And that's exactly what I did with this painting. So with this one, I'll put it up on the screen. Actually, let me move over here. So this painting, I really wanted something to where, you could just look out into Barney's world. I didn't want it to be a specific part of the world he was in. I just wanted it to be something to where you could easily imagine it being its own planet, its own universe, its own whatever. Because that's the whole thing with Barney. It's imagination. It could be whatever you want it to be. And that's exactly how I wanted whoever's viewing it to understand this piece to be. One thing I learned from Bob Ross's episodes is how to structure a painting like this. You go from the back and all the way to the front. You start with the sky, and then you do the clouds, then you do water, all kinds of stuff like that until you go forward and see what's in front of you. And now originally, the words that you see on the painting were on the left side of the painting. They were like, it was on the left side and it was like a column that goes down. And I had to move it to the bottom right when I made the poster because I realized how just not great it looked that way. First things first, the words on the painting are, of course, lyrics to a Barney theme. The theme is It's Good to Be Home, which is a reworking of an older song from, I believe it was Barney's Magical Musical Adventure. It was a 1992 VHS tape, or 1993. It was something like that. 93, I believe. They reworked the song to be put into Barney's Imagination Island, and that song that they reworked is the lyrics that I use here because it's a very important song to me. Barney's Imagination Island is still top 5, at least, Barney home videos for me because I watched it all the time growing up. And also, that song is just special to me in general. When Dee would be going through her various medical bouts and just, it was really hard for us last year. She'd be going through a lot of things, and a lot of the time it felt as though there wasn't really much that I could do except for sit and watch. And it was at that moment that I knew being there for her and comforting her was the main thing that I should be doing. And I think it was right before I started this channel back in August of 2021, I believe. I forget the time frame. I think it was 2021. I was starting to come out more in terms of expressing my love for Barney, which is something that I hadn't done since I was a kid. And Dee and I watched Barney's Imagination Island. I asked her if she would want to watch a Barney tape with me because I had never had that experience with anyone before. I've never shared my love of Barney with anyone at that point. And we watched the tape, and I remember that it just made me really happy. Just sharing what I love with someone that I love was extremely eye-opening to me. That song I would sing to her whenever she'd be going through her medical bouts.
The best part is coming home to all the people you love. It's good to be home. I'm never alone when I've got my own good friends beside me. Whenever you're here to hug and be near, you are so special to me.
Like, I would sing that every single time. And I guess even just for me, it became a very, very symbolic song. Like, we will always be okay as long as we're here together. Even if I'm not here, I will be here in spirit for you. If you're not here, I know that you'll be here in spirit with me, because we've got our imagination, we've got our love, we've got our hope in general. And I would take those lyrics with me wherever I went. And I wanted to put that on this painting to have it sealed into a piece of art that I made. Now, again, it was on the left-hand side before, and I moved it to the bottom right because I wanted it to be more of, you're looking at the painting. If you're looking at it, I want you to be looking out into the beauty of it. I want you to be looking at the water, the clouds, the sky. I want you to see Barney. Barney is part of the eye catch, but I want you to be looking out into what he's seeing as part of that universe. Drawing Barney sitting down was very strange. I wasn't sure how it was going to work, but I think it worked out pretty well. Overall, I just really dig the way that the colors came out. I think that it turned out really well, and I'm very much looking forward to doing more paintings and stuff like that in the future because, again, it turned out really nice, I think. If you look at the top, of course, there's a few different Easter eggs. You got Professor Tinkerput's ship from Barney's Imagination Island. I love putting that in. I love drawing the balloons and everything. It's a lot of fun. As well as the egg from Barney's Great Adventure, the movie that Twinkin hatched from. I love putting that as well. It's just drawing sparkles and twinkles are very fun to me. So I thought that was Very, very nice. It's not often that I do paintings of this huge landscape, and this really isn't huge at all, but it's not often that I do things like this. And it was just a lot of fun, and seeing the final product of it made me very happy. Now, I say I have a few of these right now because I have like 6 that I'm signing the backs of. I had them printed a week and a half ago, and they're like these are ready to be sent out, but I need to get the second batch so that I can send those out as well to the rest of the patrons. The problem is I ordered those prints, and the place that I got it from said, "Hey, we ran out of paper." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I looked around to find another place, and the next place I found charges more than the first one. So I'm like, okay, let me just wait for them to get more paper, or I'll just have to get a more premium paper. I just wanted to talk about this because, I don't know, it made me happy, and I thought it would be a nice little form of small content to have out for Barney at this time. So there's that. Once again, thank you to all my Patreon members. Put them up on the screen again. All of you are absolutely wonderful. And thank you all for just joining the channel and just being here in general. I love you. I love you. I love you. Couldn't be here without you. I have been Hedge. Thank you for joining my rainbow line. Thank you for boarding my rainbow line. I'll see you guys at the next stop. See you.